the touch. It must be a sin. You're around without reason, and you're stuck in my head, and I'm guilty of treason. Forgive me, I bled. This must be desire. This must be desire. The idea for the song came out of a conversation I was having on a plane. We were having a conversation about Phil Spector and that whole Wall of Sound period. And there was a song that was written by Carole King called He Hit Me and It Felt Like a Kiss. And which was quite controversial, and they were interviewed about that song. They were talking about, it was a babysitter of theirs, and she had been telling them this story and about how, I guess, love being this sadomasochistic battleground. And so I was like, yeah, I want to write a song about love as a sadomasochistic battleground, but in a kind of mutually consenting sort of way. Well, I think often I get mistaken for a man, but I'm okay with that. I think there's something really to be said for embracing female masculinity. I don't think that it is necessarily always understood or embraced. It's not cool. Or women embracing a part of their masculinity and kind of choosing to present themselves in that way. I think it's really nice. And, you know, like, all this gender stuff is just social construct. Every individual, they should feel comfortable to express themselves however. It's got nothing to do with anything other than an aesthetic and, you know, what I'm comfortable with. I think that the music industry in Australia is definitely male-dominated. I feel as though it's like there's this kind of, there's a quota of, okay, every year we must have one Australian female artist. That seems to be all the space that's kind of allocated for that. I've definitely come across a lot of females who just have to work seemingly 10 times as hard to achieve. I guess most talk, like it seems to me that a lot of people are concerned about gay marriage. For myself personally, it isn't so important for me to have a state-sanctioned or church kind of sanctioned union. I actually just don't see what the, you know, why it can't just be. It actually doesn't make sense to me in this day and age. I don't like the politics of things. I sort of just treat individuals on an individual kind of basis. Pretty conservative sort of town and small town. I also always kind of knew that I was attracted to women before it really even was about a sexual kind of thing.
Did you get to a point where you decided to tell your parents? Or?
I tried, and you know, they were both kind of, you know, my father's a Spanish Catholic, very kind of conservative in that sense, and I also tried to tell my mother, and I think they just kind of didn't want to deal with that. But once it happened, it was kind of just like, you know, I copped a lot of flack for it, but then I had, you know, a really tight crew of friends, and they didn't care, and people got over it really quickly. I think I was lucky enough to grow up in a time where things were changing, and even in the country, you know, people were a bit more aware of it. The ocean was an orchestra, I can build the tide, and the world
an oyster, and I shut and suck the hole inside. If rain was
There should be kind of more role models in general. It should be talked about in sex education. It should be talked about in, you know, just in a casual way. Anything to do with gender or sexuality beyond just man, woman, baby, that scenario. I don't recall anything. So yeah, it is something that people need to be educated about. Not just queers though. No one was informed. There was no language for it. We didn't have the vocabulary to talk about. You, like, as a teenager, kind of growing up in a country town, doing that, I had to like work all of that stuff out internally. It's hard, but you know, just
Maybe
know that. I guess they need to just know that it's okay. There's there's nothing wrong with however you are and want to be, or however you feel, and you should reach out. Like if you aren't feeling safe, or if you if you need to talk to someone, talk to someone. I hate the thought of young people out there harming themselves because they feel alone. You can be proud of yourself. Be proud. It's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to hide.
I'm known to the authorities, they're known to me, but baby, don't let that tell ya. If you wanna shoot the breeze, I'll show you around my neighborhood. We'll cruise all the apothecaries, and since you're leaving town tomorrow, you can be my main best friend.